Hey guys!
Welcome back to Off the Clock Podcast.
Episode number 3.
Or 4. We don't know yet.
Sorry.
We're going to Vegas next weekend, and if we're not tired, we're going to film the
recap of it all.
Right. So hopefully this is episode 4.
Yeah.
But
if everything went well.
Yeah.
Who knows?
We'll see.
I don't want to give anything away, so we'll see.
Yeah. We don't know either.
Yeah.
We're going in like 5 days, so.
Yeah.
But anyways, welcome back. Today, we're going to talk about money.
Money.
De Niro.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I think so.
I was like, Robert De Niro. De Niro.
De Niro. Wait.
De Niro.
Aren't you learning Spanish right now
Yeah,
on Duolingo?
I am. We haven't gotten into that yet.
Oh my god. Guys, Skylar's learning...
It's De Niro.
Okay. She's supposed to be learning Portuguese instead of Spanish because we're going to
Lisbon. It hasn't been booked, but we are going.
Yes, it is. We are going. We are.
Honestly, by the time this is up.
Oh, it'll probably be booked.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We're so excited. We're so excited.
So you should be learning Portuguese, but she's learning Spanish, so you should know that word, but whatever, it's fine.
Well,
I will be learning Portuguese instead.
I'm sure it's the same.
Because we might also take a quick trip over to Barcelona, so then
right, and then I'll be fluent, and you'll be like, I don't know what she's saying.
Spanish in high school.
Like, how do I ask for water? And then I'm gonna save the day.
Okay.
What were we gonna say?
Nope, nothing, because I realized I was wrong. Yo soy is I am, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say yo soy
like
dinero.
Quiero agua.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. Okay, but anyways, back to what this podcast is about. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're gonna talk about relationships with money because I think it's something really important, especially in your 20s, learning it. And we're obviously still learning.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I am very new to having a relationship with money. So, or a good one at least.
I've never had money before.
I've had $0. No, but...
Yeah, just it all. Like,
all of it.
Especially, you graduate and you're just dumped into the real world. And it's
without
like...
knowing anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy how fast you can spend it and hoard it and... all in between, and it's just really weird. And I feel like, at least just from meeting people and having relationships in my life, it doesn't matter how old you are. Mm-hmm. Some people have really good and really bad relationships with money, and it changes throughout their whole lives. Things happen, and I feel like no matter how old you are, it's something that you have to constantly be like perfecting and practicing. So
for sure, I guess I'll just start by saying, like, in college, like, obviously you're not going to be the best with money, like, and no one should expect you to be, because, like, you're in college, like, that's a time to, like, waste your money, honestly.
I know.
So, like, I was always so bad with it, and, even moving out here, like, I moved out here and lived with my sister rent-free, and rent-free, but I should have saved and I did not. So like there's things like that we're kind of going to dive into, but it's still learning, but Skylar helped a lot because her mom is
my mom, she works for a financial advisement company. Couldn't tell you
what she actually does.
Yeah, she's smart. She's great at like money things, an accountant. And now would be a good time to say that we're both privileged people.
Yes, like take everything what we're gonna say in this episode with a grain of salt. Like we know we're privileged. This is just
right.
Not sorry if that sounds, but like it's true. Like we know that like some things that we might say
won't be relatable.
Yeah,
they won't be.
But also I feel like some things like learning our relationship with money can be helpful to anyone. So just
we don't want to come across ignorant this entire episode. We know some things we say aren't going to be relatable, but also like in both aspects.
Yes.
There's also people who had their entire college paid for.
Yep.
And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're somewhere in the middle, I would say.
Yeah, and we both have also different experiences, which I think will also be good. So yeah, just listen along.
Just like listen.
Yeah, okay. Just see if things don't relate to you, that's okay. If they do, then that's also okay. So
yeah. Anyways,
let's get in.
But yeah, I feel like my parents kind of taught me pretty well, but no matter what, it's still kind of alarming.
Yeah.
When you actually graduate and you get like your first job and then you're like, okay.
Yeah.
They're like, here's your money. And then you're like, okay, what do I now do? You just have to spend it as you want. Yeah. And it's surreal because you're like, oh, this is real life. And I have rent and I have pets, I have food, I have purse, I have no money in purse, I have to literally find 3 meals a day, which is crazy. Yeah. Like, it's pretty nuts once you actually, like, are in real life.
Yeah, because, I mean, growing up, like, I had no responsibilities with money. Like, I didn't have to. Which I'm really thankful for.
Because you're a kid?
Yeah. And, like, even into college, like, my parents paid for my gas and, like,
Same.
all the necessities. So, like, I didn't have to worry about it. But also, my parents didn't, and they've said this to me, like, literally a week ago. They did not teach me about money or, like, anything. So I had no idea. So when I moved into my apartment by myself and had to, like, pay for things myself, it was like, damn.
It runs out.
Yeah. Because even when I lived with my sister, like, she paid for my food. Like, she literally paid for everything.
It, like, the little things that are, like, everyday needs, once you have to pay for it yourself, you're like, now, it's like the TikTok, like, now I know why my mom said we had food at home.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, groceries are $200.
Yeah.
Like, not always, but you know what I mean? It's like, now I get it. But when those little things are free, like gas and food,
you don't realize
that's actually a lot of money.
Yeah, you don't realize how much it adds up, like, and like fast. Like, I'll get my paycheck one day, and then like 3 days later, after I bought groceries, gas, paid rent, whatever, I'm like, damn, like I have no money now, and I have to wait like basically 2 more weeks. So it kind of sucks, but that's why you have to budget and, like, you know, and prioritize what you're spending your money on.
Let's talk about budgeting.
Yeah, let's.
Yeah, we have been pretty good at it. It changes, like, all the time, though.
It does.
Because I feel like in different, like, seasons of life, you prioritize different things. Like, we're going to prioritize traveling, which we'll talk about soon. But it's really nice to, like, revisit your budget, like, every month, I'd say, and, like, see what we're doing with it. But one thing that, like, really opened my eyes that I've, like, tried to teach Hallie and, like, explain, like, to her also, like, for my own self, kind of just out loud to both of us, is that, like, you can, as long as you're saving something, you can spend your paycheck down to zero. Yeah. Like, your leftover money should be savings. So it's okay if your budget, like, you're budgeting everything ever, you should be putting it to zero because X amount of money should be going to, like, a different savings account. Yeah. Because I think beforehand I was like, oh, I need to spend as little as possible to have the most extra. But it's like, what's the extra? Right. Allocate it somewhere. Yeah. Put it in a high yield savings account or a travel or an emergency fund. Like, you should be taking all of your paycheck and literally putting it in buckets to equal zero. Yeah. And that's okay. That's the point of it.
Yeah. And that took me it's still taking me a while to, like, actually learn that because, like you said, like, when we actually first started, like, talking about money and stuff, you were, like, saying about, like, your checking account and stuff.
Yeah. Like, I keep mine really low.
Yeah. And, like, I thought that, like, you literally couldn't. So, like, I just would hoard money into my checking account. And, like, also that's not good because people can steal from your checking account and you can't get that money back.
And there's no benefits of a checking account.
Yeah. So, like, once she taught me about, like, a high yield savings account or something, like, it really helped with budgeting and saving and everything. So,
and really quick, I do want to shout out Libby on the label. She's, like, an online friend of mine, and she's the reason why I learned about all of these things. I'll, like, somehow tag her in the below. I don't know. I'll somehow tag her. Yeah. But, like, she's the reason why I, like, started a high yield and, like, had those, like, budgeting spreadsheets and everything. So I just wanted to credit her, but it kind of, like, trickled down to, like, my friend group, which was fun. Yeah. But
yeah, no, definitely. And, like, learning about all of this is, like, kind of fun too.
It's fun because it's kind of like you feel it, like, the pressure behind your head, because I feel like sometimes you can have these, like, weighing down feelings about money, but as soon as you do your budgeting, you're like, I literally gave myself $50 for coffee.
Yes.
So if I buy coffee, I don't have to feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
And that's such a liberating feeling.
Oh my God, yeah. Like I'm doing a really tight budget this month. At least I'm trying.
No, you're doing great.
Yeah, and like I have everything written down to like the T, and it's really helpful. Like when I see that I have like it's like, oh, I still have X amount of money to spend on whatever I want. It's like you can still budget and still leave yourself money to spend on whatever you want, and like that's also, I think, like really helpful in saving, because it's kind of hard when you're like, oh my God, like I can't get a single coffee this month or like whatever it may be for you. I feel like that's when relationship with money can get really toxic. Yeah. Because you don't want to put yourself in such a small box of like, I can't spend any money. Right. Because that is so unhealthy.
And it's not only a bad relationship with money, but it's not a good life experience.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay if you want to get Starbucks.
Yeah.
It's literally okay. Yeah, you might not be able to buy a new couch for 3 months if you do this, or if you go out every weekend and spend $100 on drinks. But, like, you have to pick.
Yes.
But I don't know.
Yeah, and that's what it all comes down with, prioritizing on what you spend your money on. Because, like, we talk about, we do travel quite a bit on weekends, or like do like some small trips, and that all comes down to, we prioritize spending our money on travel, so we might not get clothes for that pay period. We like, you know, like, so it may look like we live this extravagant life, well, not extravagant, but like
to some like people who don't travel often, it probably looks like, how are you going to San Francisco, and well, that was a work trip, but like Vegas, and then Arizona, and then Iowa, and then Pennsylvania. It's like, because,
and then Europe,
because I'm saving money for it.
Exactly. So I just think, like, even when you're budgeting, still leave room for things that you want to do.
Exactly. Because that's the point of it. That's the point of it. Like, if you have to cancel your 10 subscriptions, just watch YouTube. It's free. Yeah. Don't watch Disney Plus and Netflix then. Yeah. Like, I don't know.
And then when you get to that point of when you're on your way to go to wherever you're going or whatever you're saving for, it's so worth it. You're like, wow, like I really did the damn thing. And you don't feel guilty
about it. That's the biggest thing. It's like, if you... That is my biggest thing, because before, like last year, when I would just get money and I would just spend it, and I would never like be in the hole. So I was like, I must be budgeting, like spending fine, but I still, like, every time I'd go to Target, I'm like, I think I can afford this because I have this much money in my account and it's fine. But it was kind of a mystery. Yeah. So I kind of had a feeling of a little guilt in the back of my mind every time I would like go to the mall or something, because it's like, I don't actually know if I should be paying for this, because I don't know, especially when I was freelancing, I'm like, I don't know how much I'm making. Right. It's just kind of like, I haven't this much in my account. Okay. Yeah. But when you budget, it's so much more liberating, because if you literally put, like, you have $300 to spend on clothes.
Yeah. Like,
then spend it.
Yeah, exactly. I also think, this is kind of bouncing around a little bit, but like, I have a lot of debt because credit card, and I took out student loans. So I think that this is good because Skylar has like no debt.
I don't have loans or debt.
So I think that that's important too, because like I'm obviously want to pay down my credit cards and my student loans. I don't even want to get into it today, but obviously, like, I want to pay down my credit cards, but I also, like, am not so, like, holy shit, I'm in so much debt, because it's not, like, that bad. Like, there's definitely people that have it worse, but I'm not, like, oh my God, I need to put all my money towards my credit card, because that's also, like, come on, be realistic. Like, you're gonna buy stuff no matter what. So, like, to have that cushion of money to do whatever you want with is still good, even if you do have debt or anything.
Right. As long as it's hard for me to give advice on this because I haven't been in this situation, but just from like listening to, like, I watched like kind of a lot of TikToks about like finances and stuff, and it's just interesting. But like, debt is kind of like, some people aren't even paying their student loans because it's like, what's gonna happen? Yeah. But whatever. But I feel like if you put all your eggs in one basket, it's not gonna help you you have to make a plan. Like I said, whichever card has a higher interest rate, pay that one first. Mm-hmm. Like, don't do 50-50. If one has a much higher interest rate and you're closer to getting it down, put 90% of your credit card payment toward that, not the other one. So it's just, if you're trying to just like pay, especially with like student loans, for example, all like as much as you can every month, but then you can't even like enjoy your life. Exactly. It's like, are you going to just be doing that for 20 years? Like, at what point is it, I don't know.
Exactly, because also nothing is like your days aren't promised. I know that's cheesy, but like you don't want to, like, you want to be able to enjoy your life.
Pay it off. Yeah. Pay what you can. Make sure interest isn't eating into that and it equaling out. You know, like, do the math. Make sure you're actually making progress on it.
Like, still be smart.
Right. But
yeah.
That's all you can do.
Exactly.
If you make X amount and these are your loans and this is the minimum and these are the interest rates, do the math, figure out what that payment is, and that's all you can do.
Exactly.
Don't give them extra if it's gonna, you can't travel for a decade because of it. Like, I don't know. Yeah. It just doesn't make sense to me.
And like with my, like, with our job, like, we get bonuses, so like that's also helpful. Like, you can, like, there will be times where like, okay, one day or one paycheck, like, you could only put in this much, and then like another paycheck you could put in like a lot more, and you'll still like, it just, like, when things like that also happen, like, it's also helpful, and it also makes me feel better paying like not as much as like maybe I should be or whatever. So I think that's helpful too.
Yeah, I think bottom line when it comes to debt is like not ignoring it. If you make a plan and you stick to it, for me, I feel like that would alleviate like my mental. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, you can only do so unless much. You win the lottery. You can. This is the only thing you can do. So if that's all you can do, then it's like.
Yeah, then that's all
I'm good. Like, it's literally fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, just not ignoring it and making a plan and budgeting and everything like that. But going off of that, we are planning on going to Lisbon in August. Yep. We're going to Vegas next week. We're going to Arizona for our birthday in May. Yep. I'm going to Iowa like 3 times this summer. And we just wanted to talk about like prioritizing with budgeting, like to talk about money, because I feel like sometimes things can look extravagant or like unattainable, but then when you actually sit down and like, and I also want to preface this by saying we don't make like, I make a very, very grateful for my salary. It's a very common salary. Yeah. Like, I don't want anyone to think I'm making 6 figures or even close to that. It's about half that. So it's a normal salary. Just putting that out there. Yeah. But just prioritizing, because I feel like we do travel a lot and it's really not that like hard.
No, it's really
I don't know.
Not.
It's really
not. No, it's not. And I think there was a good thing that I've heard on a podcast, Emma Chamberlain's podcast, where they talk about money, and she has a guest, and she said something that really like made it all kind of make sense to me. And she said that you can afford anything but not everything. And it's so true, because then she went on like talking about prioritizing your money. And like I already said in the beginning of this episode, that like, okay, we might not buy clothes or random shit or whatever that may be, like, because we save for traveling, like, because, and also we're really lucky where we are. Like, we are
Oh, the airport?
The airport. Like, we are. Oh, true. We are very close to Denver Airport, and it flies nonstop to basically everywhere.
Bro, like, when we went to San Francisco, we were right across the gate for a flight to Frankfurt. Like, you can directly fly to Germany from here.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, we are very grateful in that aspect. And, like, the flights are kind of cheap where we want to go. Like, obviously, we don't go to the East Coast for anything. Right. Except for, like, our own hometowns or whatever, but like for when we want to travel places, it's usually like Utah, Arizona, Vegas, California.
True. Like, those are very close.
They are close, so like that's also something to keep in mind. Like, our flights are not as expensive, but we still prioritize traveling.
And also, like, going off of that, we never prioritize our comfort. We literally, all of these places, I'm flying Frontier and I'm bringing one backpack. Yeah. Like, I make it work. When I went to Cincinnati to see my friend Sadie, I literally wore 3 layers of clothes so that I didn't have to bring a carry-on. Like, I saved $60. Like, it's not like we're living in luxury when we do these things.
We're not flying first class. Okay? Yeah.
Just saying.
And if we are, it's Frontiers.
Frontier,
which is
tray
the same.
table, full tray table. It's the only difference.
Yeah, so like that's also things to keep in mind. We're not these, I know. I don't know.
A little bit ago, I saw a TikTok of this girl, and she's like always in like tropical locations. I think she was in either Central America or Mexico, and she was like working, like her job was like on the beach. I don't know what her occupation was, but like people were saying like, oh, to be rich, or like, I'm so jealous, like I wish I was rich and I could just like surf and like work at a coffee shop on the beach. But she was telling the people, she was like, I literally don't have a trust fund, and this is how much money I make, but this is how I live. Right. I live in a hut. I wear 4 pairs of clothes, and like I literally travel with a backpack, and I go to these different countries. I don't make that much, but she also doesn't have rent.
Right.
Like she eats fresh fruit and food from the community she lives in. That's like pennies on the dollar. Like, it's her lifestyle. Right. And that's not us. That's just an extreme example where it's like, dang, like she's always like at these gorgeous beaches, like always traveling, but like her only expense is a flight. Right. That's the same price as our monthly rent. Yeah. Obviously, if you don't have rent, you can live in these other places. So that's obviously an extreme example, but that's kind of like watching those things. It's like, it just depends on what you prioritize, what your lifestyle is. I don't want to be living out of a suitcase, so I have an apartment. Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah. So I just think like, just like really prioritizing what you want to spend your money on is really helpful, and like don't stray away too far from that. Because I know it's easy to like just like go get a coffee or whatever, or go get lunch, and like those, I know they seem small in the moment, but those add up like really fast. Right. I urge everyone, if you're watching this and you haven't like budgeted, or even, I feel like there's 2 parts of budgeting. One is like making your budget, and one is just literally seeing what you're spending your money on already, because it's 2 different things. So in order to make your budget, you need to be seeing what percent of your salary or whatever income you have is going towards that. Yeah. So once you look at what you're spending your money on, you'll be like, oh, why am I spending $500 on eating out when Trader Joe's is only like $80 for a cart of groceries? Exactly. Barely. Right. Like, for 2 people. Yeah. Like for myself, like if I go to Trader Joe's, and like I eat vegan, so like people always say like, oh, that's so expensive and whatever, and like it can be, definitely, but like shopping at Trader Joe's, like I get a full grocery order for $60. Like that's crazy. Usually like if I go to Whole Foods, it's over $200. So like just doing like figuring out where also to spend. But yeah. And also something that I was telling you, I was like hungover a couple weekends ago, and I got DoorDash. Yeah. But I was like, I can afford this. I can treat myself. I don't feel good. I don't want to get in my car right now. I'm going to vomit. But like the fact that I hadn't bought DoorDash in like a month, I felt like I earned it kind of. So it's kind of like doing those types of things too, where if you are being really good with your budget, you can splurge every now and again without feeling guilty. Oh, so that was one of those moments where I was like, I earned this, Jimmy John's. Like, I don't need to leave my apartment. Like, come on, I can spend $20 on DoorDash. So I think once you like do your budget and like know that you went the extra mile to go to Trader Joe's and have a panic attack, then you can get DoorDash when you're hungover. Yeah. It's a balance. It is. It's all about balance. It really is. Yeah. And like I said this in the first episode, but I'm moving and my rent is going up a little bit, but like not as much as like one would think. And so like that's also gonna play a factor in how I'm gonna have to budget. Like I'm gonna have to move things around and stuff, but I prioritize where I live, what I want my apartment to look like right. That's something I want to spend my money on, so I'm just gonna do it. Like if you wanted to go to Europe every 3 months, you would probably need to get a roommate or 2. Yes. But you want to live by yourself, and that's totally fine. It costs more. Yep. But I know that. You know that. And I'm prepared for it. And we live in Denver, and we want to live in Denver. Yes. if we wanted to not, we could move back to our hometowns for free.
Yeah.
So it just all depends on what you want to do. It's just so weird. It's like obvious, but when you're actually like in your 20s and doing it for real, it's like, oh, my life choices change my situation.
Yeah.
Especially like money wise, and it's just a weird balance, and it's always different depending on where you're at the time. But
yeah, you just have to figure out what's important to you. That's literally it. Like, because you can afford anything, but not everything.
I'll put that on a t-shirt. Not our quote.
Not our quote. No, we stole it.
Not our quote at all. But yeah. And also when you were talking about like your checking account, I don't know if this is like, I'm curious to know what they all do out there. Or if they seen the TikTok that's like, she was like, I don't know what I would do if I had less than $4,000 in my account. And then it cuts to like the other footage of someone having like 4 cents in their checking account. But I keep mine so low because I realized that high yield savings accounts exist. Yeah. And I'm like, why do I just have all of my money in this stupid account that's sitting there?
Right.
It's dumb. And I just got a credit card like a year ago.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Because I was scared of them.
Yeah.
But I have rewards points.
Exactly. I mean, I get how it could be scary. I mean, I got a credit card really early. Like, I think it was my sophomore year of college. Yeah. And that was not, like, it wasn't smart just because I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I mean, it was like when I got that credit card, it was a super low limit. But like it obviously have added up since then. So
also like I wish limits didn't raise.
Dude, I hate it.
Because
I'm gonna spend it, bro.
Right, because my limit used to be my budget.
Yeah.
So it was so easy to manage because I just knew if I got close to maxing it out, even if I maxed it out, I could afford it because it was literally like perfect with my expenses. Damn. And now it's like double. Yeah. So I'm like,
it's so annoying.
Stop doing that.
It's so annoying.
I never asked for it.
No, literally. Put it back. Literally, please.
Literally put it back down.
Oh my god, you're just creating a bigger hole for me.
They want.
I know, and like,
they gotcha.
What the frick? I know. Literally, like, stop.
Capital One.
Like, oh,
chill. Stop trying to ruin my life.
Literally. But going back to what you said about checking accounts, I was definitely the girl on TikTok. I didn't have 4. Now, there was only...
You kept, like, your whole paycheck in there, though.
Yeah. I mean, when I was living with my sister, I definitely had a few
bands.
grand in there.
She has bands.
Definitely had a few grand in there. And I didn't have...
That's crazy.
Yeah. I didn't have a savings account at all, though. So, like, all of my money just sat in there. And I know, like... It goes more in depth with that. Like there's a long story about why I couldn't get a savings account, and I'm not getting into that because it's honestly embarrassing.
It's just like boring. Like it's just dumb.
Yeah, and whatever. But so I definitely did that, and then even when I moved into this apartment, I still was like, oh my god, like I need to have like at least $1,000 in my checking account. And that went downhill very fast because obviously like living by yourself, you have a lot more expenses and stuff, but also then you told me about high yield savings and whatever, and so like I have money in many different places right now, and that has helped me keep my checking account pretty low, but I'm still having a weird relationship with it. Like I still feel like I need a certain amount of money in there when in reality I really don't. Obviously not anywhere near as high as I used to. Like it's probably only like a couple hundred at
I think I have like 400.
Yeah, like at the end of my like right before my paycheck, I'm like I need at least a certain amount, but that's not true. You can have it to 0 as long as you budget it. But yeah, I just think changing that is good, and like putting your money in, you know, places that it'll grow to if it's just sitting there.
It's not like I'm not a investor person. Like I'm not like one of those bros who's like, what, stocks and bonds. Like I don't. That's why I like the high yield because it's still accessible. Like you're not like, it's not like you are. Oh, Rocket Money, not sponsored.
It sucks. Don't use it.
Don't say that.
Oh, sorry. Please sponsor us.
But that's crazy. I was gonna say that I don't know what I was gonna say. I just totally forgot.
Sorry.
What was I gonna say?
I don't know. I'm so sorry.
Oh. high yield savings accounts are like not really risky at all.
No.
Or like they aren't.
Yeah.
They're like insured up to like way more money than I'd ever have
Yeah.
in a savings account. And they're not, sometimes I feel like investing is like gambling a little bit when it's not just like a Roth or a 401k. So I'm not one of those people. I just think the high yield is a safe place to put your money that you could still pull from it if you need to. But I had like all of my savings in my hometown bank and the interest rate was like 0.01 or something. Like I would literally get like 1 penny a year. Like so dumb.
That's so funny.
And now like I get like $40 a month just having my money somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's free, bro.
It's literally just like freaking do it.
Like,
free money.
And it adds up because the interest adds. I don't know. It's crazy that no one teaches us about high yield savings accounts.
Or like anything with money, really.
It's kind of terrible.
It is. There was a point where I tried doing investing with like Robinhood. And I was like, but okay, I will say when I signed up with Robinhood,
did you make money?
They gave me a good, because they give you one free stock and they gave me Facebook.
Oh.
And so I think I put like not a lot of money in there, and I think I left it in there for like a few months and I made like $400. I know.
You should have left it in there.
I know. It's just because I got lucky, like because they gave me usually they give you like kind of shitty stocks for free, but they gave me a Facebook. So I mean,
invest in Facebook and Meta.
Yeah. But and now the most I do with investing is like Acorns, which isn't really like.
No, I use Acorns as a piggy bank.
Yeah, but I do have a lot of money kind of taken out. Not a lot, but
it's adding up.
Yeah, like a bit of money each week going in there that you just like don't even notice it gets taken out. So that is also helpful.
It's because that's what happens with your other subscriptions too.
Yeah.
You don't notice that you're subscribed to so many things, and then you're like, once you do your budgeting, you're like,
Yeah, that's a good thing with Rocket Money. They tell you your subscriptions.
That's true, but then you can probably delete it after that. But with the Acorns app, I just use it as a piggy bank because I think I have it set to pull $5 out a week. I do not notice $5 a week. No. But then, like, after 6 months, I'll look at it. I'm like, oh my God, I have hundreds of dollars? Yeah. It's your money. Literally. Like, it doesn't invest, like, if you're pulling it out constantly, it's obviously not growing. And I feel like there's, in my opinion, I feel like I would rather just put my money in a high yield where I know the interest rate is, like, 4% and then, like, put it in Acorns and see if it grows. I don't know. But,
yeah. The only reason why I noticed mine growing so fast is because I put $30 a week.
That's crazy.
But I don't notice that it's gone because, like, I have so many subscriptions anyways. Like, money gets taken out of my account all the time.
It's like a trick. Yeah. To trick your, like, if you aren't good at budgeting or you think you aren't good at it, everyone can be good at it. Yeah. Get Acorns and just use it as a piggy bank.
Yep. And, like, also it does that round up. So anytime you, like, spend money on something, it rounds up to the nearest dollar and puts it into that account.
Yeah. So whenever you go somewhere, if it asks you if you want to donate to charity, say no.
Yeah, because it'll go into your pockets.
Right. Make sure you're hitting no.
If you hit no, yeah.
I also heard that is a tax break for these large corporations. So I don't feel guilty about doing that.
No, because they also pay a certain amount of money before they, like, ask you that. Like, it's not at least I think, wait, I swear I saw this somewhere, so I could be wrong, but they, like, already donate a certain amount of money and then they ask for you to just get their money back. Like you. Yeah, but they get the money back. And I'm like, F you. Oh. I'm like, no, if this is true, I don't know. I think it is. But
like, you donate.
I'm like, no, like, you freaking donate. I'm not donating $1.
Like, I just spent like $1,000 at Best Buy.
Yeah, like, I'm not.
Why am I rounding up?
Yeah, exactly. No, sorry.
I can't. It needs to go to Acorns.
Sorry, I'll always say no. Sorry.
Say no. Donate on your own time.
Yeah, because
put that in your own budget. Pick your own charity.
It just pisses me off because these stupid ass big corporations make so much stupid money. You can freaking do a good cause for once. Like,
spare 10 mil.
Yeah.
And maybe, like, spare it.
Literally, they don't even pay their employees,
right? So, like, and they want me to give you my last 19 cents after
like,
I just spent $1,000 on a new laptop.
Exactly. Like, no.
Oh, something that I wanted to talk about also.
What?
Is, like, even so, I watched some of these TikToks of people who will do, like, budget my paycheck with me. Like, they'll get their paycheck and they're like, I made, like, after taxes, I made $1,800 this by week, whatever. And then they'll, like, delegate it. Like, they'll show you how they budget. And then, like, there was one person I was watching who had, like, a pay increase. Like, their salary went up, like, kind of a lot, like $5,000 to $10,000. And then they were like, do my budgeting with me. But, like, the bi-weekly wasn't even that much higher. Yeah. Because it's, like, taxes. And then, like, after you multiply an entire year salary by 12 or by 24, really. Yeah. It, like, on paper, the higher salary looks so much, you're like, holy crap, you're making that much more. But then when you do the bi-weekly actual budgeting, you're like, she only had like an extra like $200.
Yeah,
that could be a lot of money. But I was like, you got that much percent of a salary increase, and it's not even gonna really change your lifestyle.
Yep, that's exactly what happened to me. I mean, I'm very thankful for it. But yeah, like, like, trust.
I'm not complaining.
Yeah, no, trust me. No, I like these raises.
I would always like more money, but
yeah, but it's just like the weekly, like it's not as big as you thought it is gonna be. You know.
That's why not to say like that's bad, because we always need to be, you know, trying to earn more for ourselves, fighting for bonuses, fighting for salary increases. Like, that is great. I think it just, for me, put into perspective that like, you can very easily make the scapegoat of your life being that I don't make enough.
Yeah.
But it's like, even if my salary got increased by blank, you still need to put these things in place of what you're prioritizing and budgeting, because even, I don't know. And the grass is always greener too. Like, you can always make more. Salary raise, fight, like, skip around to try to make the most money you can. But like, at the end of the day, week to week, month to month, unless it's an insane increase, you're still gonna need to like make these budgets, and it's not gonna drastically change your whole lifestyle.
Yeah, no, not at all.
So and it can make things easier, and you can have extra money, but it's like, for example, if you get a salary increase and then like get a nicer apartment, it just equals out again.
Exactly.
So, and it's not a bad thing, because then you can have nicer stuff. And but I just feel like it's a slow creep versus just like a complaining, like, I don't make enough money, like, you make this much and I only make this much. But it's like,
yeah, it's like, I just being completely transparent, when I moved into this apartment, from then until now, I've gotten 2 raises, and like they were pretty significant. And at least for like a normal, like, normal raise, and like that close together. Like, I'm moving to a new apartment, but it's really not making like, that much of a difference.
Right, like, super grateful for it.
Yes, very, like very grateful.
I don't want this to be my video of like, I have enough money.
No, and this is like, it's just like how it is. Like, everyone knows it. I just don't think people really talk about it a lot. But like, very, very, very grateful for the raises I've gotten, promotions or whatever, but it just like, it's just crazy. Paycheck, it doesn't make that much,
right? Because like, I feel like in your head, when you're like looking at these people and you're like, oh my god, like they're only 22 and they're making $90K.
Yeah.
And then you look at their monthly. Obviously, it's higher than it's higher than what I have now.
Yeah.
But like that, I don't know. It's just in your head, you're like, it's this much more. But then after taxes and then divided up between all the paychecks, it's like, oh, they could probably have like a half as nice, better apartment, and then that didn't make sense. Like, a little bit nicer of an apartment, and then like maybe they can like go to an extra concert or I don't know. It's just
like, that's exactly what it's gonna be for me.
Right.
Like, it's gonna be, I think, like $150 more each paycheck, but
and it adds up. But day to day with your lifestyle, you're still gonna have to do the budget, because it's not like, I don't know, it looks different on paper than when you actually apply it to your day-to-day life.
Right.
I think that was my biggest.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, when you're younger, I remember like in like high school, they would always be like, find a job that you actually like, not just one that pays the most.
Yes.
And when I was little, I was like, that's stupid. Like, why would I not want to try to make the most money I can?
Yeah.
But now, living in real life by ourselves, it's like, enjoy where I live. I get to go to any concert I want. I can travel when I want.
Yeah.
And I don't make like I thought I would have to make like so much money when I was younger to be able to like do these things, and it's like I'm content.
Right. And also another thing, I feel like going off of that, where I grew up around Scranton, you had to travel for like concerts and stuff. Like we didn't really have like concert venues near me.
That's
so like
true.
when I wanted to go to a concert, I would have to go 2 hours away and stay somewhere. Like
That's true.
We're also very lucky to have like really good concert venues near us. I mean, like Red Rocks, like that is a famous concert venue,
very
and, like,
close to venues.
Very close. And like honestly, like concert tickets themselves are not that bad. Like it's just like when growing up, like it was such a big ordeal because you had to actually like go somewhere for it and stuff.
And that's another one of those like takeaway examples, because like our rent, like I'm definitely paying higher rent than I would in like Des Moines, Iowa.
Oh yeah.
But like there's much more like comedians and like shows I can go to here. And I'm closer to the airport than from where I'd probably live in Iowa versus here. Yeah. It's just like things are more accessible, so I'm paying more in rent, but I'm actually saving money on like driving and hotels and stuff.
Exactly. So like all of this just like kind of plays a factor into what we're saying. But yeah,
it's crazy.
It is crazy.
It's just weird. It's like obvious things, but when you're actually doing it in real life, it's kind of just...
Yeah, because, like, even though we grew up in such cheaper places, things we wanted to do were more expensive because they weren't so accessible. So, I don't know. That's also, like, something to think about, you know? So...
It's just crazy.
It is.
It's weird, and I feel like it's, like I said at the beginning of the episode, just something we're going to have to always be figuring out, and things are so expensive.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, that's always freaking changing, like, gas and shit. So, I don't know. It's just, like, your budgeting will always be changing and evolving, and, like, what you spend your money on will always be changing. And so it's just, like, day by day or month by month or whatever it needs to be. Just do what you think is best for yourself, really.
I know. Guess. And another thing that, like, growing up, I feel like it's kind of ingrained in our brain that we need to save up to buy a home.
Yeah.
And now that I'm a real adult,
just like, no thank you.
I'm like, do I even want that though?
Yeah.
I know it's a good investment.
Yeah.
But does everything in your life have to be an investment?
Like, for real. And like with, I mean, I don't know. I'm not in the market for a home, but everybody's...
No.
Everybody's saying, like, how shitty the market is right now. And it's like, okay, well, why would I want to buy a house when the market's shitty? Like, is that really an investment then? Because, like, if the prices go back down to, like, how they used to be or whatever.
Right.
Like, it's just, you know, you have to, I don't know.
I know. And it's like...
You don't want to lose money on it.
Maybe your house, like, earned equity, but if you sold it and tried to move somewhere else, it'd be the same price of...
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, these Denver homes are $1 million, so if someone moved and, like, cashed out, like, I don't know... Yeah. $400 from when they bought it. Okay, but if you move somewhere else in Denver, it's the same amount as...
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just... I don't know. I don't know anything about the freaking house market. But...
Me neither. But I just feel like when you grow up, that's what you do. Yeah. You buy a house.
Yeah.
And then the older I get, I'm like, do I want that, though? I don't even know where I want to live.
I know, and that's, like, kind of, like, scary. Like, buying a house.
To decide where you want to literally live for a long period of time.
Yeah, it's like, damn, am I going to raise a family here? Or, like, it's kind of a big, at least for me, I feel like it's kind of like a big decision.
And I feel like, not to stray too far away from the money topic, but since we moved out of our hometowns, we obviously probably aren't buying houses there.
No.
So, but when you don't leave, I feel like it's like, okay, I live here and I'm going to buy a house. But when you move, it's like, now where I'm going. Where am I going to go? Am I going to stay here? Am I going to go back? Am I going to move 3 more times before I even buy a house?
The world is our oyster.
Right. It really is.
It really is. But, like, it's true.
It's weird, like, though.
Yeah, we were also saying, I think that we said this in the, because we said in our first episode, that was our second time recording it. I think we said in our first time recording it, which you guys aren't going to see, is, what did
You'll never know, because Hallie doesn't know either.
What did we say?
I don't know.
I forget where I was going with that, but that's...
Okay. Stay tuned. This is Hallie in real life. We weren't sure if we could even have a podcast because she loses her train of thought a lot, but that's okay.
Brain fog is
It's because her brain's so big and she has so many things to think about at once. So...
Oh my god, what were we saying? Oh, I know what we were saying.
I knew it was going to come.
So, like, because we moved out of our hometown and, like, so far away from our hometown, we feel like we can, like, we know what it is to move now, like, to a different state or something. Yeah. So, like, if we do want to buy a house in, like, another state or whatever, it doesn't feel as scary as it was the first time you ever moved to a different state.
It feels more, like, attainable.
Yeah.
And not as, like, oh, that's, like, such a grand idea.
Yeah, and it's really not.
It's not that hard.
Really not.
It's really not that hard.
Yeah.
It's, like, takes a lot of effort, but it's not, like, it seemed impossible or, like, groundbreaking when we did it the first time, and now it's, like, oh.
Yeah, it's literally just, like, moving your stuff.
Yeah.
Just move your stuff here.
I know. But
yeah, so I just think that, prioritize what you spend your money on and just pay attention.
Yeah, if you literally don't know what you're spending your money on, you should just look through your monthly bank statement. Like, I just go to so actually how I set up my money really quick, as I was going to say, when I keep my checking really low. I pay everything off on a credit card. And then when I get my paycheck, I get that through my checking, and then I just pay my credit card off. The only payment that goes through my card is, like, my car insurance or something. I don't know why. Yeah. So as long as it's at least that high, literally nothing else is pulling from that.
Right.
So that's how I set it up. But just look at, like, your month and make categories like food, going out, travel, you know.
Yeah, because you might realize how much you spend, like, your money on little things that add up, because that's really what was hurting me. So,
and then from there, make a budget.
Yeah.
And be realistic with yourself. If you know you have a habit of getting coffee 3 times a week, just
budget that, like, put that in your budget.
Right.
Like be real. Like, don't try to make it seem like,
don't set yourself up for failure.
Yes.
Because it will happen if you don't.
Yeah, it really will, honestly. So, yeah, I just think with all of that kind of, just pay attention. But
pay attention,
but also don't, like, hoard your money. Have a good relationship. Budget so you have things that, make you happy to spend your money on or whatever. Like, even if it is, I don't know, whatever that is for you. I don't even know. Coffee.
Yeah, it depends. Like, if you're living a humble lifestyle, it's easier. If you're a bougie bitch, this might not be good advice for you because you might just need a sugar daddy.
Yeah, but there's a way.
Right. But if you live a humble lifestyle and you're grateful for what you have and you want to do fun things in life and you can budget for that, I don't know.
Yeah.
So you got this. We got this.
We're all in this together.
Yep. It doesn't matter how much you make. You could still prioritize things in life and do them. Yeah. And have a good experience while you're here on this earth.
We're only in our 20s. We want to have fun. So I think that's important.
We want to spend our money before we have kids. When we're 35.
Yeah. I'm only taking care of myself.
We still have, like, a decade before we need to have kids.
Yeah, I don't want to have kids until after I'm 30. So.
Young, wild, and free.
I need to travel, bitch. I don't want to be taking these kids to different countries. Hell no. Are you kidding me? Kids are annoying. Bye.
Yes, they can be.
Like, they're so annoying.
And even more so than that, they're expensive.
Yeah. Like, when we were flying back from San Francisco, there was this, or maybe to San Francisco, I don't know. There was a child behind me. Now, What?
The tray table.
Oh my god, dude. So, oh my god, this stupid kid. I literally... Okay, so, like, I get his heart. I get that it's hard. I try to be more conscious because my best friend has a kid now. And, like, she said it's hard bringing him on a plane, and I'm so sure it is. But I love her. I don't know this child, so...
It's different when it's not a family member or your own kid. I'm sure I'll love my own children. All others...
Yeah, like, it literally smelled like dirty pee.
Or ones you don't know. Yeah.
Like, the diaper needed to be changed, and I, like, almost vomited, and this stupid child was flicking the stupid thing up and down.
The front tray tables are, like, pure metal.
Dude.
And they're this big, so when you drop it, it's like...
I was like, literally? literally, please leave. Like, it was so annoying.
He didn't cry that much, though.
No, he did, and not until we landed. But it was just, like, annoying, and it literally smelled like pee. And I literally wanted to vomit. Like, so no kids for now.
Mm-mm.
Thank you very much.
Not until we get through our travel era, I think.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
so that'll be a good decade.
Yeah.
We're only 23.
We're only 20. Yeah, we're turning 24 next month.
Oof.
That's a little rough. 24 sounds a lot older than 23, and I don't like it. Ew. Okay. Ew, that's so gross.
It sounds younger than 25, though.
You're right, it does.
That's good.
Yeah, so.
Well, anyways, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you.
If this, like, helped you in any way, let us know. Having a bad relationship with money can really ruin your mental health. So
yeah.
I hope this could shed some light on, I don't know, at least being more relatable or helpful in any way. Let us know, because I love comments.
Yeah, me too. They're fun.
Comments are my favorite. Like, obviously follow, like, and subscribe, but, like...
leave us a review if you're listening.
Right. Commenting on our Instagram and YouTube is so fun because it feels like real people listening.
Like, real interaction.
Right.
Like, we like that, so please.
Please. We beg of you. Okay.
Stay
tuned.
Yep. Thank you for watching and listening, and come back next Sunday for more. And this is Hallie and Skylar. And we're
clocking off.
I was going to say clocking out.
Oh.
Bye.
Is it out?
No, it's off.
Okay. Bye.